Did you know designers are cheating a little bit? When we make a logo, we know the special combos that are just logo combos. But when I was recording my logo design course, I realized that actually everyday people don't know these secrets. And so I unwrapped them for the people in my course. And I thought, you know what, let's make a YouTube video on it too, because I want you to know that there are 5 or 6 common layouts that designers use almost exclusively that you can use for your own brand, depending on your style of icon and depending on the kind of text that you have. It's almost just like, I have this sort of text, so I might do this sort of layout. And then it's kind of done. You just need to apply your fonts and colors to it. So let's dive in. So hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Jackie and it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm pretty much a designer that breaks down design principles and rules and gate-kept secrets we've hidden for years and make them accessible to you as an everyday business owner, because when you have professional graphics for your business, you're going to look more professional, you're going to make more sales, you're going to build trust, and you're going to enjoy your business more. And I do this all through my courses, my coaching, and my different resources, and it is a thrill to have you here. If learning this kind of stuff sounds helpful to you and your business, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content, because there is some good stuff coming. Why do logo layouts matter? We don't need to explain why logos matter. We all know why logos matter. Logos are very important. They help you to be recognizable. They help create trust in your brand. They help to convey a message about your brand. And ideally, you're going to have that logo for maybe even the life of your business. I've had pretty much the same logo for 12 years now. And when you have specific layouts that you use, it makes sure that your logo looks professional. It helps with legibility. It helps with recognizability. It helps with versatility. And it helps with professionalism. Make sure you hang around to the end, because I'm going to share with you the 6 different variations of your logo you need to have beyond your main variation of your logo, so you can have a logo that you can use absolutely anywhere that your business needs. So let's get into the different layout sorts. The first layout sort is going to be great if you have a business name that's maybe 2 or 3 words, maybe 2 or 3, and then you've got a word underneath that kind of describes what you do. So for example, my business is White Deer Graphic Design, and so this would be perfect for me. And I'm going to show you some examples of the screen of what I mean. But pretty much this layout is going to be having large text with small text underneath. So White Deer and then graphic design, or Melanie Folks Counseling, or Sandra Calander Live Colourfully, Create Boldly. We've got large text with the smaller text underneath, or Brandywine, which is kind of big and a little bit bigger again, and then Nursery underneath. Keep in mind, these are all designs my own students have done, which kudos to them. So that's really great if you have a main word with a descriptor underneath, because the thing you want to remember with a logo design is you don't want all the words to be big. If we had all words being large, our eye wouldn't know where to look. It's a concept called hierarchy, and it means that you as a designer of your logo and any graphic that you're making can direct your audience's eye where you want them to go. And if there's too many big words all at once, our eye gets overwhelmed and wants to give up. Whereas if you have bigger words coupled with smaller words, our eye is like, oh yeah, I'll read this first and then this next. Like, it feels like a step-by-step system, not something that's overwhelming. And so when you're creating your logo, think through, are there keywords and less keywords in this logo, and can I prioritize one more than the other? Another example is almost to flip this, and the biggest way I've seen this used is if you have the word the in your logo. Obviously, the is not an important word. It's just a kind of like a supporting word. And so if you have the word the in your logo, that's when you're going to want to use this next logo layout, which is having small text with large text underneath. So the Smile Fairy, or the Virtual Chapter. Having the word the really small just creates a little visual interest, and then having the actual name of your business really large means you've got some really strong hierarchy around what you want people to notice the most. So this is helpful for the text parts of your logo, but if you have an icon to put with your text, I want to share with you 3 common layouts for where you might want to pair your icon with your text. Now, obviously you can just have text in a logo. I don't recommend it too often because there's not anything to make your logo unique, but occasionally it is still something that can be useful, and I'll share with you some examples of that. And so first is a really great example of embedding the logo into your text, or embedding the icon into your text to create a little bit of uniqueness, but not so much that there's like this whole fancy separate icon. So the first option is to have your icon inside of your logo type. Have your icon inside your text. So we have some examples here of Holistic Dermal Clinic. Their icon is kind of like that off-balance circle, and that's not only used inside the word holistic but also outside the word holistic. That kind of is embedded into the text. And the choosing joy, the O in the joy is actually a rainbow that kind of brings her icon into the logo and into the text itself and makes it really cohesive. The tricky part, just as a warning for you, when you do have your icon inside your text, is it means that you can't use your icon so easily separately. Doesn't mean you can't though. I definitely would still bring it out, especially that circle for Holistic Dermal Clinic and the rainbow for the choosing joy. But having it inside the text, this is a really great way to include it in there, especially if one of your letters looks like something that you want to represent in the business. And thirdly, we've got the Brandywine Gardens Nursery. We've got a little pot plant made out of the twisted D. Again, these are all of my students' designs, which I'm so proud of them for doing. And having that twisted D kind of creates that little pot plant vibe, but also like gardens. Just a caveat for you, the word gardens is a really obvious word, so it makes it easy for us to replace a letter. Whereas if you had a word that was really convoluted or not a common word, I wouldn't do this trick with that word. I would choose a different word that was like the word the, you can play with until the cows come home, because everyone knows what the word that is. Whereas if you choose a really convoluted word, people might not understand what letter your icon is trying to replace. So don't get too finicky with it, but it's really great if you do have an easy word with a fun concept you can bring in. This is a fun way to do it. All right, the next way you can bring an icon into your logo is the real simple icon on top of the text. It's a classic and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's really easy because it means that your icon can be used easily on its own and with the text, and it's just really beautiful and nice and clean. Now I'm going to share with you at the end some logo variations, and this is actually one of them where you have the icon on top of the text. But you also might have a variation of your logo where the icon is next to the text. You can see here we've got Tara's logo. The icon is next to the text. You've got Wellness Rediscovery with Linda. Her icon is on the other side of the text, but it still works. Kind of depends on the length of your words and the way that they flow together, and also the shape of your icon, of if you want to put it on the left or on the right. Default is usually on the left, but it's not to say you can't put it on the right. And like Sandra's there, you also have her icon on the left, and it looks really beautiful that way. All of those layouts could also have put the icon on top of the text, and in fact we have done that because it's really important to have variations of your logo. Which brings me to the final part of this lesson, where I want to share with you the 6 variations of your logo that you need to make sure that you have a professional suite and a really versatile suite. Before I get into sharing those, I want to invite you to something very exciting. I have a course that goes through this whole method where I take you from start to finish of how to build a brand, how to build your logo, how to do it in a way that's fully legal, in a way that's totally unique, in a way that makes sense to a DIYer, and doing it all inside Canva. I would love to have you in it. It's called DIY Design My Biz, and if you click the link in the description, you're going to get taken to a cheeky little discount for a very limited time, and I would absolutely love to have you in there and support you to create your own logo. Not only do you create your logo, I'll teach you color palettes, I'll teach you fonts, I'll teach you actually layouts and how to do good design that captures attention, communicates your expertise, and helps to make you sales. Plus you get a ton of templates and tutorials for every single graphic that you're going to need throughout the life of your business. It is such a steal. All right, now to go to those final logo variations that you're going to need. So there are 6 variations: stacked, long, wording, submark, icon, and tagline. So stacked is where your words are on top of each other, or your icon is on top of each other. So normally this would look like, rather than the example that I have, it'd normally be the icon sitting on top of the text, like those examples I just shared with you. This one here has the icon nestled in nicely with the text because that just worked really nicely with this logo layout. You would normally have that icon sitting right on top of the text. That's variation 1. This is really good for when you need a taller logo to fit into a narrower space. Then you have long, where your icon is either in between your text or more normally next to your text, and all of your text is all narrow. Rather than being stacked text, you might have it all next to each other. This is really good for at the bottom of a letterhead or at the bottom of a document where you have a really narrow space. Next, you might just have the wording by itself without the icon, and then you have the icon totally by itself without the wording. This might be used for like a little fav icon or somewhere where you just have the icon by itself. Then you might create a different kind of submark where it's kind of like an abbreviation of your logo. This is often done by using letters from your logo and letters from your text put together in a really cute way, sometimes like a monogram, sometimes like the example I have here. And then you also have a variation with your tagline. You don't have this all of the time because sometimes your logo needs to be too small. You can't fit the tagline with it being readable, so you always have that small version too. So I hope those have been really useful for you. If you found this stuff helpful, please make sure you check out the course. It's going to save you hours. You're going to thank yourself for it. Plus make sure you've hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for joining me. Hit like if you like this one, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye.